Hi, I'm Chris Cannell. Today we're looking at the state health benefit plan for state of Georgia retirees. Coverage that's available to people who've worked for the state for a certain number of years. We're going to evaluate it compared to your other main option, which is Medicare with a supplement plan. So first, you're eligible for this coverage when you turn at 65. You can, you know, go to your website here at State Health Benefit Plan and they've got their information here. They do say in this little warning here, if you don't take their coverage when it's offered, you can't get it again. That's true. What we're going to find is, in many cases, it's worth walking away from. Medicare with a supplement plan is a more comprehensive coverage in some ways. So uh, sometimes it's better to walk away from one thing in order to get the better thing. So you'll have to evaluate that for yourself, but I'll do my best to help you make that evaluation here. So if you're going to take their plan, they tell you what to do. Um, you can read that on your own. Here on a different page on their site is the plan descriptions, right? And they basically offer you two plans, one by Anthem and one by United Healthcare. And it's about the one that most people get is this Anthem one that's about $30 a month. Okay, so we'll take a look at the basics of that. So, this state of Georgia Advantage plan is about, say, 20 to 50. Currently, we know it's $30 plus per month. I'll just say 30 plus. Um, and it's not original Medicare. So, what is this? Well, you see Joe Namath talking on the TV about, Advantage plans all the time. This is just another one of those. Um, the difference here is the state has negotiated down the maximum out of pocket to be $3,500, whereas the ones that you can get off the street for non-state of Georgia employees, that max out of pocket might be 10,000. How does that work? What does this look like? I'll explain further. So number one, Advantage plans are not original Medicare. When you go this route with the state of Georgia, you are stepping out of your relationship with Medicare and you're turning yourself over in whole to the carrier, let's say Anthem, right? The problem with that is now Anthem has all the control over your care and your approvals for your care in particular. So, not long ago, I had a former teacher who was on the state of Georgia plan. She wanted to get a stent. Anthem denied her, even though her doctor thought it was best. She didn't have enough blockage in the vein. Well, Anthem can do that because they, in this situation, run the show. All the, prior authorization requirements, as I have highlighted here, are in place, and they're going to push back potentially on certain things if they don't think it's medically necessary, and they have their own criteria for that. So she opted to leave that coverage in order to go to Medicare with a supplement plan over here, which I'll discuss more in a moment. But that's a big sticking point to know is that the Advantage plan is not original Medicare. You leave your relationship with original Medicare and you turn yourself over in whole to the carrier. Also, it's network based. So this Advantage plan through the state of Georgia is a PPO plan. Which they say you can go in or out of network, but actually Mayo Clinic doesn't take an Advantage plan from anybody, and neither does MD Anderson. So while a PPO does allow you the flexibility to go in and out of network, it's only if the place will see you, if they take Advantage plans, and not every place does. And listen, let me stop at one minute and say this. The state of Georgia plan is not terrible. It's okay as far as plans go. It's just not as good as the supplement plan that we'll talk about over here in a moment. But that's one of the reasons is it's network based, where a supplement plan over here that you pay a little more for has no network at all. And you can go to the Mayo Clinic or MD Anderson. Next on this Advantage plan from the state, you pay 20% for many items, including hospitalization. So, we pull up the evidence of coverage here, and everything all down the wall says 20%, 20%, 20%. We keep running into this, x-rays, necessary surgery, all this. This is part of your plan document here, 20%, 20%. So, all the way down, right? Now, if your 20% gets to $3,500, you're done for the year. So it's true that your ceiling for the most that you can pay in a year is $3,500. That's true. But it could be inconvenient to get there along the way. And we'll see what's on the other side of the fence over here and compare that in a minute. So you pay the state of Georgia plan, usually $30 for the most popular one, this Anthem plan, and it is giving you a decent coverage. Fine. So that's option one, is take their option. Option two is Medicare with a supplement plan. So this is original Medicare being the primary payer. They're still in play. That's big because now your doctor is submitting things for approval to Medicare, not to some carrier. Medicare is going to be much easier to deal with for the doctor to get things approved that they want to get approved. If generally the doctor feels like it's medically necessary, Medicare is going to play along. Then if you have a supplement plan in place, the carrier has to pay. The supplement plan has to pay after Medicare does. So the way this one works is you pay a carrier, let's say $115 to $125 a month. They give you a plan card called supplement plan. It holds hands with your red, white, and blue Medicare card, and it's just cleaning up behind it. So if Medicare pays, the supplement has to pay. All right. And what does that look like? Well, you go anywhere you like. There's no network. This is the only health insurance in America that does not have a network. Original Medicare with a supplement. Travels very well. Go practically anywhere you like. If you go to the hospital, you don't pay a dime. So over here, you pay 20% for hospitalization. Over here, with a supplement, you don't pay a dime at the hospital. And it doesn't matter what hospital. You're covered for no matter what they do to you there, up to 365 days at a time. Outside the hospital, you're paying the first $283 at the doctor's offices. So, what does that look like? You show up at the doctor's office to start the year, you're self-paying $283. That's your deductible. Once your $283 has been met, then any additional doctor office visit after that is either $0 or $20. 0 or 20, depending on what you choose. So $283 is your max out of pocket here versus a $3,500 max out of pocket. No carrier prior authorizations are in place, whereas this one does have prior authorizations in place. So it's less about, how much a month am I paying and more about, how little will I be paying total for the coverage if something happens, right? So it's true, this one's less per month. This one's definitely less per month. $30 a month, this one's more, but let's do the math. Over here, you pay $125 a month for a supplement, let's say, I'm just guessing high. $125 a month times 12 months, that's $1,500. Plus your $283 deductible, we know we're going to pay at the doctor's offices. Total, about $1,783. That's the most that you're going to spend. Maybe some extra $20 copays for doctor visits here and there. So $1,800, right? Over here, your worst case scenario is $3,500, depending on what happens. The other, so there's, $1,700, $1,800 versus $3,500. That's a good chunk. Plus, you had a lot easier time dealing with this coverage if something serious came up than if this one, potentially, depending on what happens to you. Example, cancer, you have to pay 20% of all your chemo over here. I'll add that here. 20% of chemo required. Over here, not the case. So you pay less per month, but you could deal with more hassles and you could pay more total for the year. Whereas over here, you pay more per month, fewer hassles, and lower overall for the year if something were to come up. This plan by the state of Georgia includes a little vision. This one over here, supplement plans don't include any dental, vision, or hearing. You have to add that separately. I can give you quotes on those add-on options if you want that type of coverage. This one doesn't include any dental at all, and neither does this one. The only difference is the little vision. So that's the basics. Some of my people are okay with the state of Georgia plan the way it is. Some of my people say, no, I want all options on the table. I'd rather pay a little bit more to have more flexibility and more overall coverage, frankly. If that's what you want, I can help you with Medicare with a supplement plan. If you want the state of Georgia option, you'll provide them with your Medicare ID number once you receive it. Lastly, Medicare with a supplement plan is only available without health questions one time in your life. It's the 6 months leading up to your 65th birthday and for 6 months after. So if you don't take a supplement plan during that period, then you decide later you want one, you're going to then have to health qualify for it. You're going to have to go through health underwriting, health background check, and so forth. So if you decide that Medicare with a supplement plan might be a better option for you, reach out to me. And obviously, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can answer that. If you have questions about the state of Georgia plan, um, they hold a educational seminar once a year and a webinar and so forth, and you can ask them your questions about that. But hopefully you have found this to be helpful. Let me know if I can help you with anything else. All right. Thank you.